Hi, this is a video on our 2x72 laser cut grinder. This video applies to our vertical horizontal grinder, which this is, and also our upright grinder. Before we start, I do want to talk about safety. It is very important to make sure you have the proper safety equipment when you're running these machines. They are dangerous, and it is very important to look after your safety. So basically, when you get the grinder, it will come in this configuration. Both the tool rest and the plate and head here are both in their back position. So what you need to do is put them into position and put on a belt. So to do that, you just take a belt, make sure the arrows are pointing back towards the large wheel here at the back, and very simple, you just take it and pull it over here like that. You open these two clamps here and you just pull out the plate and head, and you pull it out that you need to get tension on the belt. And the way you do that is just by lowering the arm here, bring it out, just take up the slack in the belt and tighten up the clamp here at the side. You probably didn't see that because I'm in your way, but basically then let up the arm and that puts the tension on the belt. By moving it then, turning it with your hand a few times, that will actually track the belt. And I do like it, it's just something I like to do. I like that little touch up. Odd was a touch, but that really puts the proper tension on the belt. You can even hear it there, there's quite a lot of tension on that belt. But that does, with the tension, they do run quite well because both your 3-inch and 4-inch wheel have a concave on them, and that's what keeps the belt centered. So once you've that done, you can run it, and once the belts look tracked, then you're ready to run. But if you do want to change the tracking on the belt, you do it by this arm here. This little handle here basically moves this guy up and down, and that will bring the belt in or out. Also, this hinge here can actually be turned to bring the wheel towards you or back towards the wall. It's very unlikely you'll ever have to adjust that because once they're set, that's generally it. But not all belts are equal, and that's something you may need to do. And if you need to, that option is there with this machine. But as I said, it's very unlikely. If the thing you're doing, usually 1 degree can make quite a bit of difference. So the movement that you're bringing that wheel towards you or back towards the wall is just a couple of mil at a time, or a mil even at a time, and that will make quite a difference in tracking that belt. So once you've that done, you come over to your VFD. Now, as standard, your VFD here will be, let's just bring it around, with F on it. There we go, because I missed it, which stands for frequency for the motor. But if you press this here button at the bottom, which is data, press it once, it goes to R, which is RPM. So I'll switch this on now, and then I will slowly start it. I'll have a look, make sure that the tracking is good and all is fine. And then, as you can see here, I'm hoping you can see the RPM. So that's running. I'll turn it off. So that's running at 4,000 RPM, and then you can just hit stop. So once you've done this and you know your belt is tracked properly, the next thing to do is put on your tool rest. So to put on your tool rest, I just move this out a bit. I take a 17mm spanner, and I kind of usually, to be honest, I usually run the tool rest just kind of in line with the tool rest arm. Once I have it in place there, I'll just tighten this up. There is some play on this, which I'll tell you why in a second. So once I tighten this up, I'll just bring it in line with the belt. I like to keep it over a mil or two. Once it's there, I tighten up the tool rest arm, and that doesn't have to be that tight, just hand tighten, it's fine. Also, as I was saying, there is play in this, which means you can move this, if I loosen off, slightly left and right. And the advantage of that is if you have a bench maybe that isn't quite level, you can get your level, put it on this, and you can level it up to where it should be. So once you have it done and once you have it level, I just keep it in the center here. I tighten this up with my 17 spanner. I don't go mad in it, just give it a good tighten, and that's it. Again, I'll move it here with my hand, make sure that there is nothing touching the tool rest. Also, it's very important that all this belt is touching is the 4 wheels on the grinder and your work that you're going to be working on it. I always keep it about 2 mil or at least a mil away from the back plating. So basically once you're pushing the belt, it just, as you can see, it just goes right up against it there. But that's the way I run, and it just takes less pressure off the motor as well. Especially when you're starting at upper pressure, even off the VFD, that if you find that the belt itself is right up against the plating at the back, it does put more pressure on the VFD to start it, and it isn't great for your belt either. So once that's in place, your machine then is ready to run, and you just hit the run button again here on the VFD. You'll hear the VFD coming on, and then you just press. Now, the one thing I like to do from a safety point of view is I'll always turn it up and down or off and on with the top button here, which is a knob for speed control, and then I'll hit stop. It is possible that when it's running at full power or whatever speed you want, you can just hit stop and it will slow down and stop. The thing is, when you hit run, it'll just start up straight away. It kind of takes it out of your control. I like to be able to just turn the knob here to set it to the speed I want it to run at. So in that position, it's all ready to go. It's upright and it's ready to grind. If you want to flip it over, what I do is leave the belt on, because it's easier to have the belt on while it's upright. I will basically loosen the arm here for the tool rest arm, and I will take the tool rest off, because we will just put it over to this side. So it's much easier to take it off like that, put it back on. I won't tighten it up yet, so next I will take my 17 series back again. I just loosen the loop here that keeps it in position for being in the upper. So once I loosen that, I just flip it over. I then will tighten it up again. And that's it. It's now in that position, and I will go take my tool rest, and also when I put it on the tool rest, I always turn it that it's this side of the bolt, which is the side of the head of the bolt, and I put it in here. There, once I have that in position, I then press it in. Again, don't want to be touching the belt, tighten it up. Bring it to where I want it to be, and then I will tighten up this arm here. And that's it. So, yeah, that's nice and good down there. Again, once it's in that position, it's ready to grind, and I just hit run and switch it on. So to bring it back into the upright position, it's basically do the same again. So I take off the tool rest. And I loosen up this 17 here. I just need to loosen a little bit. There we are. Then I will loosen our tool arm. and then we're actually ready to go again on the upright position. Just on maintenance of the grinder, and I'll take off the belt because it's easier to show you. The most important thing on the maintenance side of it is that these wheels, as you can see, they spin, but you don't want them to get loose. So basically, it's important that, yes, they're loose to spin, but they don't jiggle. And you know if they do because your belt won't track properly. VFD, very important. Keep it away from the machine. There is a meter of cable with it, and we like to keep it away from the machine to keep the dust away from it, because the iron filings will affect it and they may blow it. We've had a few cases where they're right beside it and the dust goes into it and they blow. But it's no harm as well if you do have a little bit of compressed air or a can of compressed air and just give them a blow every now and again. So that's really about it. They are quite straightforward. They do run very well. And if anyone needs any more information, please give me a call. And again, listen, thank you for buying the grinder and supporting us. Thank you very much.